everyone, welcome back to our channel, my Kiwinoy fam. It's me again, and if this is your first time in this channel and you're interested in everything about New Zealand, the culture, the practices here, the language, and also the places to visit here in New Zealand and everything under the sun, then please do click the subscribe button and hit the bell as well so you don't miss any of our videos. In the past days or even weeks, I was in the streak of sharing to you guys all about the Kiwi language, the Kiwi vocabulary, all the common phrases and terms, and the slang words that are used and commonly heard of here in New Zealand. So in this video, I thought I would change it up a bit and share to you guys a little bit about the culture and practices of the locals here in New Zealand. So if this sounds interesting to you, then please don't leave this video. So the first practice I would like to share with you guys is bring a plate. So bring a plate is when you are invited to an event or to a birthday party or any special occasion, and you are asked to bring a plate or a platter of food enough for you to share with the other guests. So bring a plate doesn't mean that you literally need to bring a plate. It actually means that you're being asked to bring some food or even drinks for all of you, for all of the visitors to share. And this is a very common practice here in New Zealand. In fact, it is very common that it is almost given that when you are invited to someone's house or place for a party, you are expected, not really expected, but let's say likely to bring a plate with you, because that is the culture here. And this practice is actually not only unfamiliar to people who didn't come from Western countries or people who came from Asia like myself, because I know of a friend who is a European. She's from UK and she moved here in New Zealand 13 years ago. She got invited to a birthday party and of course she got asked to bring a plate. She didn't actually know what they meant when they said that to her, and of course she turned up to the party holding a plate, an empty plate. So she took that bring a plate literally and actually brought a plate with her, and she was like, I was wondering why we needed to bring a plate, like maybe there wasn't enough plates in the house. But actually if they ask you to bring a plate, it means that please bring a platter of food for all of us to share. And this just shows how important it is to be familiar with the culture and the practices of the country that you are in, not just as a migrant, but also even if you're only coming here in New Zealand or anywhere in the world as a tourist, because by doing so you are showing respect to their culture and their practices. You are showing that you are acknowledging those practices and culture and that you care and you're interested. And when locals see that you are respecting them, they actually give the respect back to you. They also try to understand you and get to know you as much as you are trying to understand them and their background and getting to know them as well. So it's a two-way traffic actually. It's a give and take relationship. And speaking of birthday parties or events or any special occasion, if you are invited to celebrate with someone, let's say a birthday party in a restaurant or to eat out, you are expected to pay for your own meal and drinks. Not just because you were invited to celebrate with them, it means that they are going to shout you your meal or your drinks, or they're going to shout your dinner. And I guess the idea of it is that you are inviting all of these people to celebrate with you and you expect them to join you because they actually genuinely care about you, because they are your friends and because they want to be there for you, they want to spend time with you, and that they're not only celebrating with you because they are after the free meal or the free drinks that they would get. And that is why I appreciate this practice so much, and it doesn't bother me at all. And still about birthday parties or events or special occasion, Here in New Zealand, it is very common to set a time frame of the party, meaning you would ask the guests to arrive at this time and the party is ending at this time. So it's actually very common to see on the invitations or the invites phrases like the party is from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or the party is from 12 noon to 6 p.m. which I think is very helpful to you as the host and also to your guests, especially if you're hosting a children's party. It just gives the appearance of the kids who were invited to your party the exact time for when they need to pick up their kids, and it helps them plan ahead. And that's the same to you as the host. At least you know when to expect your visitors, and also you know when you're expecting to be able to have a rest, put your feet up, or clean up even, instead of having to stay up and wait up for all your guests to go, because it can take forever sometimes. And the next practice here in New Zealand that I would like to share with you guys is that when you are wanting to visit someone at their house or even at the hospital, you don't just turn up unannounced and be like, surprise, I'm here, or we're here, we've decided to visit you, I hope that's okay, because it's not okay. The practice here is that when you are wanting to visit someone, even if it's just at their house, you must always give them a heads up and ask for permission if it's okay for you to come around, or if it's a good time for you to come around, or if they are up to it for a visitor, because they may not be, and you have to understand and respect that, especially if they are up in the hospital. Although it's such a good gesture to visit someone in the hospital, not everyone is up to having visitors, especially if you're feeling very ill and weak or you're still recovering. And on top of that, when you do give them a heads up, ideally it has to be at least a few days ahead of your planned visit, so that at least they could prepare for your arrival and expect you. And the next one is still about going around someone's house. Or in New Zealand, it is also not a common practice to just turn up with a present or a gift for the person that you're visiting. Here in New Zealand, the practice is to ask them if they would like for you to bring something, or if there's anything that they could bring or buy for you. Because people here doesn't expect you to always bring a present for them when you come over for a visit, or bring something for them when you come over for a visit. And also the idea of asking first before you bring or buy something for them is that you don't buy or bring something that they already have, which is probably gonna end up being regifted or not being used, which will be such a waste. So the idea is that so you would bring them something or buy them something that they don't have yet, and that they would love to have, that they would appreciate to have because they actually need it. And I really like that. 2 thumbs up for that from me personally. Next up, it is very common here in New Zealand as well to shake people's hands, but of course because of the pandemic, because of the restrictions, shaking hands is not very common anymore. In fact, it is being avoided. But before the COVID-19, it is the practice here to shake someone's hand, especially if you are being introduced to them the first time. I suppose it's their form of acknowledging you and saying that they are glad to meet you. People here in New Zealand are very friendly. It's so amazing, and I love that. And I love that about this country. And the next one for today, honking or beeping the horn of your car is not a common practice here in New Zealand. In fact, it is seen as being rude. So when you are driving on the road, you don't normally hear cars just randomly beeping. They would only beep if, let's say, you cut them off, which almost caused an accident, or if they are trying to catch your attention because, let's say, your boot is open or something has fallen from your roof racks. But otherwise, you don't normally hear people just randomly honking their horn here. And the last one for this video is queuing up for almost everything. Now, this is the first thing that I really appreciated about the people here in New Zealand when we first moved here. It was so amazing and beautiful to see that people are queuing up regardless of what it is for or where they are at. And it's like an automatic response to them, like a muscle memory, that you queue up, you don't push in front of the queue, you don't try to get ahead of anyone. And also I find the locals here very respectful and considerate when it comes to queues, in the sense that if you are behind them and they can see that you are struggling, let's say maybe you have a kid with you, they would actually let you go first without a doubt and in a heartbeat, which is actually such a nice thing to do, because not everyone is fond of waiting in the queue for a long time, right? In fact, I haven't met anyone who is fond of waiting or standing in a queue. So guys, this is where I will end this video. I hope you found this helpful and interesting. And if you did, please don't forget to share it to your family and friends. If you would like to know something more about the Kiwi culture and practices, also please leave them in the comment box and I will definitely share more about it to you guys in the next videos. And before you leave this video, please don't forget the subscribe button. Also, please like and follow our Facebook page, My Kiwinoy Fam. Also, follow us on Instagram, My Kiwinoy Fam. And last but not the least, I also have a TikTok account, so please do follow me on TikTok as well. We will see you on our next video. Bye bye.